Hi y'all, my name is Hazenator and welcome to my YouTube channel. Tonight I thought I would go ahead and discuss what I do to prepare getting tattooed, since I am preparing on getting a tattoo here really soon. So I thought I would just kind of run through what I do from the moment I book the appointment until the day of the actual appointment. First things first, I like to resort to what I call the balls to the wall iron diet. This is due to the fact that I am one tall skinny bitch, and because of that I'm also anemic, which, as most people know, when you are anemic you bleed a lot, and when you bleed a lot that makes it difficult for the tattooist to actually throw the tattoo on your skin, and it also makes it kind of tough to heal and to just overall have a not crappy time getting tattooed. I know with my anemia, I generally am really tired all the time, and quite frankly, tattoo flu doesn't really help me with that. So that being said, I generally stick to a diet of mostly rabbit food, which really sucks for someone like me who lives off of mostly gas station food and various caffeinated beverages. But you know, I try to stick with whatever green stuff I can get my hands on, whether that's spinach or broccoli or something along those lines. I try to go ham on the chicken, or even like red meats or whatever. I actually try to eat healthy for once, I guess is what I'm getting at. I also take a few supplements. So I'll generally take a few supplements throughout the week to 2 weeks that I'm getting ready for this. I start with 2 gummy multivitamins a day because I'm a big baby and I like gummy vitamins. And I'll also take some vitamin C, which helps with the immune system altogether, and it also benefits the absorption of iron. And since I try to avoid caffeine, and I'll get to that here in a second, I take B12 as well. This is obviously just my general regimen. I did not consult a physician about this. So if you're really trying to up your iron levels, please talk to a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm a marketing major, so I have no clue if I'm even, qualified to discuss this stuff. I also take iron supplements, 65 milligrams. Generally, I'll take 2 of these. So that being said, that's what I go for, is rabbit food and supplements, essentially. But I also have to avoid a few of my most favorite things. This includes coffee, dark soda, and tea in general. I'm not sure if it's just black tea or what, but I read in some article, I think off of Livestrong, that those beverages actually block the absorption of iron. And, rather than take my chances, I just avoid them altogether when I can. Caffeine does the same thing pretty much. However, I have found a loophole basically saying that if you wait a few hours after consuming the caffeine to take your iron, you should be able to absorb it just fine. So lately I've been doing that as well. So we'll see how this appointment goes, if it actually makes a huge difference on that. I also forgot to mention that really helps to stay hydrated. So a lot of people say the Gatorade is not the most hydrating thing, but quite fucking frankly, anything that you drink is generally going to be hydrating unless it's like 100% alcohol. So it's just a matter of how much of it you drink that makes the difference. So for me anyway, since I am generally really bad at drinking water, I'll go through about 2 of these 32-ounce bottles a day. And that's the recommended intake for water. I'll also, once I finish these, if I'm still thirsty throughout the day, I'll just fill this up with water and then keep at it pretty much, and that keeps me nice and hydrated. Okay, so once I've started up my balls to the wall iron diet, I like to move on to my second phase, and that's what I like to call getting my affairs in order. So what I mean by that is, as I previously stated, and as y'all have probably gathered by now, I'm kind of a big baby when it comes to getting tattoos. So I do not have the greatest immune system. So once I get tattooed, I do not want to fucking move afterwards at all. So I always make sure that I've got someone to take me home from the tattoo appointment. I make sure that my house is absolutely spotless, because, well, I have this giant healing wound now, and I don't really want it to get infected with whatever kind of bacteria might be roaming around the house. Once I have completed my nesting process, everything is clean, all the chores are done, I do not have to lift a finger around the house for at least a couple of days. This is just as a precautionary measure. When I got my smaller tattoo done, it wasn't really an issue, but when I got my half sleeve done, on the other hand, I was really thankful for that. So there you go. I also make sure that I have either requested off the day after I got tattooed, or that I have someone that's willing to cover my shift in case I'm not feeling too great. I get tattoo flu like nobody's business, so it never hurts to have that kind of backup. Moving on to phase 3. Phase 3 is essentially just acquiring all of your essentials. I like to get my aftercare stuff, which when it comes to aftercare, and I'll go into this a little more probably in another video, I generally wash with unscented Aveeno. I know a lot of people recommend something that's actually antibacterial, and I do too, but I just haven't found something antibacterial that doesn't completely dry out my skin. I tried H2 Ocean in the past, and my tattoo started scabbing within less than 24 hours. I'm not about that life. So I just stick with unscented Aveeno. I use the Skin Relief body wash, and quite frankly, none of my tattoos have gotten infected. So there you go. I also go with Hustle Butter for the first 3 days or more, to keep it nice and moisturized. I really like it. It doesn't stick to my clothes as much as what Aquaphor does, which, due to where I work, I have to keep this covered when I am working, so it helps to not have something that's just like clinging to it and, you know, coming off frequently during the day that I have to keep reapplying, because I just don't have that kind of time. Once I get past the 3rd day, I go with my unscented Aveeno moisturizing lotion and just apply that periodically, but like I said, I'll get to that in a later video. Other than my aftercare essentials, I also get paper towels. Very important during the aftercare. I usually go through a full roll of the really fluffy ones for each tattoo. It doesn't matter what size, I just manage to do it no matter what. And I also get cash together. I always ask my tattoo artist right when I book the appointment, hey, how much is this going to cost me? That way I have all the cash I'm going to need to cover it, along with a tip. As far as tipping goes, I'd like to get that in a later video as well, but you know, I guess we'll see how this one goes. I also like to get stuff together for the day of the tattoo. Like I said in my previous point, I just like to be fully prepared, so I'm not having to worry about anything that day. So I'll generally make sure that I have enough Gatorade on me, that I've got some type of snackage, whether that's chips or chocolate. Those are my 2 main go-tos. Although I can't really have chocolate during my balls to the wall iron diet, but once you're getting tattooed, it doesn't really matter. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, y'all know how to reach me. And until next time, I will see y'all later.